From the podcast studio on the third floor of Anderson Hall at UNL's College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Keeping It Classy College Edition. We're your hosts. I'm Harmon Johnson. That's McKenna Bliss across the way, and we have another great show lined up for you. It is episode 3 of Keeping It Classy College Edition. McKenna, before we get going, I mean, just kind of how was your week? You know,
I thought that I had an exam this week, but I actually didn't, so that made my week a little bit better.
Oh, yeah?
It's been not very busy.
Yeah, coming off of Easter, been
yeah.
A little bit of a busy time.
I forgot that Easter happened.
Yeah, came and went.
The semester's really gone by fast.
It has. I've been really impressed at how fast it felt like it went, because the first semester felt like it dragged on for forever. Like, we were here. I mean, part of that was the fact that we moved in a week before classes started.
Yeah.
But the other part of that is just like, okay, we're 4 weeks from being done for the second semester.
First semester, I was like counting my days until winter break, but this semester, I can't keep track of... My mic turned off. Oh.
Oops.
I can't keep track of like where I'm at because it just goes by so fast,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned we've got a great show lined up today. We are going to stick with kind of the college theme, obviously Keeping It Classy College Edition. But today, we're going to focus more on the expectation versus reality that a lot of people face when they go to college. So, I mean, me personally being a, communications major, the media is blowing everything out of proportion, and
definitely
it's the same way with college. So we figured this would be a great time here, episode 3, to really discuss the expectations we had and kind of we developed as we were getting into our high school and that part of our life, and then what it kind of really is. Yeah, I know we did the whole, college, misconceptions and stuff like that, but this is really more of like, what were our expectations coming in? What do a lot of people have as expectations? And, we're going to kind of, okay, here's the reality of those expectations.
Yeah, definitely. I think first we should start out talking about like our childhood expectations. Like, what did you want to be? Where did you picture yourself going? All those things that you got from when you were a kid.
Yeah, so childhood expectations. I'll go first. My childhood expectation for myself. So let's think. I think for the longest time I wanted to be an author.
I remember that.
It was quite a time in my life. I think part of that had to do with my aunt had bought me these books, the Geronimo Stilton books. It was like that fictional mouse that wrote all those books. And I was just like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. Let's write. Let's do that. And I think I dressed up as a writer for like our 3rd grade concert where we had to, it was Disney Dreams. So it was like, what do you want to be? So that was kind of my goal. And then I think for some point there was like a doctor until I figured out that blood is like, it freaks me out. Like, I can look at blood, but I can't do like Chicago Med, like just ripping someone open and stuff like that.
It's a little dramatic.
But
yeah.
When you see those on TV as a young kid, you're like, oh, that's what the medical field really is.
Yeah.
And so, but then when I got into like that 5th, 6th grade area, I started coming to state basketball here in Lincoln. And I think that's where my expectation kind of went from like, I don't know what I want to do to, I like to watch sports. I like to talk. My dad would tell me to shut up a lot. And so I was like, what can I do with both of those? And then sports broadcasting came into that. Mm-hmm. And about, I think my freshman year, I decided, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do with my life. And the only thing that happened from there is I had to find a place that could actually help me do that.
Yeah.
Like Missouri was always kind of an option because they're always known as like this big. I never considered Oklahoma. Oklahoma just was too far away.
Yeah.
And then I went on Nebraska because I'm a Husker fan. Mm-hmm. And I went on Nebraska's website and I was like, oh, they have a sports media program. Let's go check this out. And that's ultimately where I'm at today. So that was my kind of childhood expectation of my career of college. Husker fan, I wanted to go to Nebraska, but until finding that program, I was like, I'm gonna have to find somewhere else to go because I can't get my degree here.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a different path.
Oh, really?
Well, first, actually, I want to tell a story about you.
Oh, no.
In 5th grade or 6th grade, I don't remember when it was, but even from 5th grade all the way up through 8th grade, whenever I'd sit next to Harmon at like any sort of game, like football game, basketball game, anything, all he would do is yap and give me play-by-play commentary. Even though I was there watching it with my own eyes. I'm like, Harmon, I know what's going on. I can see. Shut up. So yeah, you do love to yap, but you're very good at what you do, and it's great that
Thank
you
you.
found from 5th grade that you kind of knew what you wanted to do. That's really awesome. I, on the other hand, am not that way.
Oh man.
Okay, when I was little, probably from like second grade all the way up to like, I don't know. I don't even know when I stopped wanting to do this. I wanted to be a marine biologist.
Oh yeah, I remember this phase of your life.
I can't tell you why. I think it was because I was obsessed with the Titanic,
Yep.
but I'm not sure what marine biology has to do with the Titanic. So I'm not sure why I just was like set on marine biology.
No clue.
And I don't like fish. I don't like oceans.
Really?
I'm scared of oceans and deep water.
Have you ever been to the ocean?
No, but I don't want to go.
I mean,
I'm terrified.
The biggest body of water we've seen is probably Lake McConaughey, but
Yeah, well, I don't even like swimming in Lake McConaughey. It's like
Oh,
I
me
will
neither.
wade in the water, but I wade in the water.
wait in
That's
the
a good
water.
song. But I'll like put my toes in, but you will not see me going like waist deep. I'm terrified of water. I'm not sure why I wanted to be a marine biologist. So I guess with my plan for marine biology, I have this. This is so funny. I have a diary from like 1st, 2nd grade-ish.
Oh boy.
And it has my like life planned. And like on the first, it said like finish my swimming lessons. That was my first step. Finish swimming lessons by like 6th grade.
Oh yeah.
That's my first step. And then my second step was to become a lifeguard at 16. And my third step was
I did that.
to go to college on the coast. And I was thinking like California.
Oh,
Like, I
because
wanted-
you're marine biology.
Yeah, you have. I think marine biology is a program you can really only find on the coast.
Right.
So like go to the college on the coast. So I was thinking like California, and then become a marine biologist at a certain age. Like that was my life plan.
Yeah.
That's obviously changed because I'm in the middle of Nebraska. There's no ocean here, so yeah, I don't know why I chose marine biology, to be honest, but obviously I eventually was like, I don't know why I want to do this with my life. So then I kind of got into the path of like pre-law. I was really interested in being a lawyer. I've always been interested in true crime. I love watching true crime. I listen to true crime podcasts to fall asleep. Call me a psychopath. I don't care. But then I realized that that's hard. And I don't want to do that because that's so much work and so much college. And I don't think I could do that. So then I decided to be a teacher because I'm not saying it's easy, because it's definitely not, but it's a lot less school.
Right.
And you're guaranteed a job, whereas lawyer, you're not always guaranteed a job. It's a very competitive
True.
field.
Very true.
So, yeah. Now, I came to Nebraska. You know, once again, this is kind of not a great story of how I chose UNL. My whole life, like from a kid up until my senior year, my sister was like, you should go to Northwest Missouri State. That's where I went. And I was like,
Oh.
like I love that idea. Like I really do love Northwest Missouri State. And I wish I would have put a little bit more interest in that and at least toward it, which I didn't because I just didn't want to go that far away, I guess.
Right.
But I ended up applying to the University of Nebraska just because
Right.
I really had no college plans. I did not know where I wanted to go. I really didn't put that much effort in finding a college, and this was the first college I applied to. I didn't apply to any other colleges. I got accepted and I got a good scholarship, and that's why I'm here. And I'm transferring. So don't do what I did. Put time and research and effort into actually finding a college that you think you're going to like. That's my advice.
So for children, I mean, obviously your path's going to change a lot, but a lot of what, now that we've kind of got our background out of the way, a lot of what we see for college now specifically, we get shaped a lot by the stuff that surrounds us. So the first thing, now that we've got the background out of the way, probably the biggest factor is these film expectations. You see college depicted in movies and TV all the time. And I think what that does is sometimes they're accurate, but a lot of times it's very superficial.
Oh,
You know,
it's
it's-
definitely fabricated to a point where, like, I don't know. It's like unrealistic. Very unrealistic. It doesn't happen that way usually.
Yeah. So we've got a couple examples here as to some of the films that maybe fabricate the experience, like you said, to kind of make you have that false light of college, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if you have older siblings, you probably don't believe these right away. But like, imagine yourself, you're a 8-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
You're not thinking about college.
No.
You turn on the TV, and one of our examples, like Legally Blonde, is on TV. What does that make you think of college?
I mean, when I first watched Legally Blonde, I probably was about 8 years old. I don't remember how old I was when I watched Legally Blonde for the first time, but I was young. And I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, like that is so cool. She got into Harvard, like it's nothing. Like, you know, what, Harvard, like it's hard? Like that's so cool, and it just seems like she's having so much fun. But I do think that depiction of college was a little bit more accurate than most, because a lot of college movies won't even show like class at all, whereas Legally Blonde does show her like studying a lot. She goes to class, and especially like law school, I think I mean, obviously I didn't go through law school. I'm a law school dropout. But I think it shows at least like she's not partying all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it shows like there's real pressure added to college. There's studying commitments going on. There's actual classes happening in college. Like it's not just party all the time.
Well, and not everything in that movie is up to
no.
Anyway.
No.
Like there's no way that trial does anything.
Gosh, no.
But focusing on the college aspect, just I think like you said, it's definitely a more accurate representation, but there's also when they're not in class, it seems like they're going off doing all these things around town. And, how much time do you really have for that? The other one that, I mean, obviously people are going to run into this. I personally haven't yet, but, when you start dating, that becomes a big thing.
College relationships, I mean, obviously I'm in a long-term relationship. I've never dated anyone in college, but from what I've seen, it's different than high school.
Gosh.
It's so much less drama-free. Maybe not.
Maybe not?
Maybe not.
I mean, I guess it kind of depends on who you're around, because if you're around someone that kind of does that drama, it's probably going to carry over. But if you're around someone that takes it seriously, like it's
from what I've
not
noticed, it's more like sorority and fraternity, like that kind of stuff. A little bit more drama than whether you're just like not doing that. Like I am not in a sorority, you're not in a fraternity, and I don't think we've experienced like hardly any drama.
No.
Whereas like I know people who are in sororities and fraternities, and there's a little bit more of that high school drama aspect, which isn't always the best thing. But hey, if you like that, I'm not trashing your party. Drama can be interesting.
Yeah. So Legally Blonde's probably an okay representation of college.
Okay one.
This next one, though, this next chick flick that a lot of people watch when they're pretty young, Pitch Perfect. And let me confess something real quick.
Okay.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
I love this movie. Harmon, you'd love it. You're a theater kid. You'd love it.
You sure?
I think
is this the one with Anna Kendrick?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Pitch Perfect. Once again, I mean, it never show. I don't remember a scene where she's actually going to class. To be honest. So, but she's kind of like you, kind of, where she's doing like, she's in college for music, like radio. Okay. I think. Like, no.
Again, never seen it.
I don't really know what her major is in that. I can't really remember. It's been a while
since
I've
There's
seen
one
it,
example is college, you're going to know what you're doing, typically.
I don't really remember. It's something to do with music. I think it was
something
to do with music. So, but she ends up joining this a cappella group on campus, and that's what the whole movie focuses on. It seems like all they do in college is just this a cappella group, which is not necessarily true. When you're in a college club, you still have to attend classes. Sorry, Pitch Perfect. You do have to attend class. But, I mean, it does show, like, the great bonds you can get from joining a club on campus. And I know that we have a cappella groups on campus.
We do. There's a group called the Bathtub Dogs. They're pretty good. They're a group of 4.
What's the other one? There's like, a lot,
There's
actually.
a lot.
I think we have Pitch Please.
Yes.
That's a fun one.
There's a couple.
There's another one. I can't remember what it is right now.
But the goal behind this movie is the fact that you do go to class. I mean, there's a lot of depictions of college in movies where it's like, yeah, we're here, we're doing all this cool extracurricular stuff, and we're always hanging out with friends, and you never see them study. You never see, like, we're not saying that it doesn't happen in those movies, but in a director's choice, probably will leave it out because it's boring.
Yeah.
But a lot of kids get their opinions shaped on college, like, oh, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to do this, 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 and this.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time you're going to do this, this, and have to wait to do the other two. Like,
definitely. I think it kind of shows a little bit that college is just like fun all the time, and oh, you got to do all this fun stuff like party with your friends.
which you do.
You can. You sometimes have time for that.
Yeah.
But that's not all you do.
No.
That's not college.
Right.
Anyways.
The last film here, this is a little unorthodox. This was my idea. I put this in here because I kind of like this film.
Yeah, I like it.
But, I mean, obviously it's not the same.
Yeah.
Monsters University.
This kind of shows the aspects of Greek life.
It does.
But not 100% accurate, obviously.
Right.
But it does show aspects of Greek life. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, so I'm
Oh, me neither.
I'm trying to remember like things that they did right. But I mean, it does show Greek life. Obviously, it doesn't show it 100%, but
No. Well, I remember a couple of scenes in the movie. You know, they go to class, they have their exams, and they're studying and stuff like that. The concept that I think gets me the most is just, again, the amount of free time they have.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is the big scare games thing.
Yeah.
I know that some colleges and universities do those big campus-wide activities, typically for homecoming.
Yeah.
But to me, that just seemed like, now that I'm at college, I've gone through almost a whole year, it's just like, we don't do anything
There's really
like
not,
that.
like huge campus-wide events. Like, I know for our homecoming, like most of the campus-wide events only involve the sororities and fraternities.
Mm-hmm. Which in Monsters University, there's a lot of sorority and fraternity, Greek life kind of stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of events that sororities and fraternities put on. But if you're not in a sorority or fraternity, you usually cannot go. You cannot attend.
Right.
Which does suck. But also there's other like little smaller events, and sometimes you'll hear about them, sometimes you won't.
Mm-hmm.
If like I know that Nebraska, UNL, we have an app that will show us events. My phone is not turning on.
Yeah,
But
we have an app. Yep.
that shows our events. But I don't check that.
No,
I don't
me
think
neither.
I haven't checked that since the first week of college.
Well, we were walking over here today, and there's a space outside of our dorm room or outside of our building that it's a green space. It's this big grass lawn, and I walked by at around 2:00 today. They were unloading trucks, and nothing was out yet. Well, we walked by on our way to grab some food before recording this episode, and there's a concert stage there.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. What?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we have one campus-wide event, but you got to purchase tickets for it. NLE Choppa is coming to UNL.
Really?
Yeah. You see, he didn't even know about it.
I don't keep up
Yeah,
with that.
I don't keep up.
There's
with
really
it.
only one campus-wide event, or a couple, maybe consider them one, here at Nebraska that everyone kind of knows about, and that's football game day,
Oh yeah.
volleyball game day,
Yep.
any sports game day except for the
I
ones that
wouldn't
don't
say.
count.
I'd say football,
Football,
basketball a little bit.
Men's basketball
Men's
especially.
basketball.
Football, volleyball, men's basketball, and
Yeah.
then baseball, softball, kind of.
A lot of people will go to those. Like a lot of students will go to those.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't think of a campus-wide event, honestly.
No.
A lot of the events on campus will be group specific.
Yeah.
So, like I'm part of the William H. Thompson Scholars, and we have a lot of events. Like we had a ice skating night.
Oh, nice.
I did not attend. I had work, but we also have like CEEs, which are community engagement events.
Okay.
Every month. So, but obviously, if you are not a William Thompson Scholar, you can't go. So a lot of the things are group specific. So
Yeah.
it's a little inaccurate, but I think they also did a really good job of portraying it in Monsters University. Like that's pretty good.
So yeah, college can be. College is what you make it.
That's what I was gonna say. College is so what you make it. Like you can. All of these things in the movies that we mentioned can be a reality. Like those are things you can do, but also
Don't.
you have to remember that you came to college to get a degree.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
Don't
you need.
rely on the presence that you're going to have those activities to make your college decision, because you are getting your education, you're getting all that.
Yeah.
And so, and we're talking the younger group, like it's going to shape them more, because they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to go do this event and party and stuff like that. And then you get kind of to your high school, you're like, oh, it's not like that at all.
No, it's sadly not.
There's another form of media that is shaping college expectations, and that is social media.
For sure.
And-
That's really what shaped my expectation of college. Like,
Yeah.
especially TikTok, the rise of TikTok and anybody and everybody being able to put any little video on TikTok, I think really helped to shape my expectation of what college was.
Mm-hmm. Well, I learned a lot from scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that, just because people will put anything on there about college.
Anything.
That's a lot easier to kind of shape your expectations because these are, real college students putting stuff out, trying to either promote their thing or say something funny happened. But what I've noticed is a lot of the posts you see on websites, social media, those are more of the positive side, like websites especially, like college, they're not gonna send out. I wouldn't expect the UNL page to post something about something bad that happened. But like when you see different apps promoting college life, all they show is, oh, we're going to the dining hall as a group, or we're going to do this event. And then you get the real people who are over here posting all the horror stories and stuff like that.
Definitely. Like before I came to college, I tried to prepare myself by watching a lot of videos of like the realities of college. And I would, especially on TikTok, because like I find that people keep it pretty real on TikTok. So I found that like a lot of the things that shaped my expectation about college were like crazy horror stories of like terrible roommates or like dirty living spaces and like freak accidents happen in college. So that kind of scared me before coming to college. I was like, oh God, I'm going to hate college. It's going to be so terrible. But I can also see where a lot of positive things come off of social media. And I'm trying to think of like an example of like things that I've seen on, like, I guess on TikTok, there's this one girl who will like post a like study with me session, but she's like studying for her dental exams.
Oh.
And she pulls all-nighters to study, like all night. And I was like, geez. Oh my God, like I can't be up all night studying for an exam. Like that's going to drive me crazy.
Well, and
it's not like that.
I've witnessed this firsthand. My roommate stays up pretty late to do a lot of his homework. He's an engineering major. Another thing that I think shapes how you see stuff is sometimes when you get your student ID, I think we got ours like our senior year, partly when we got our card in the mail.
Yeah.
You can join like Snapchat. They have a group story for all the students in your graduating class. And I open that thing up every day and I'm just surprised at what's on there. There's a range of everything from event notices to people losing stuff to like some bad things to some really good things. Like you see people promoting like their business or different things like that. Some people are looking for study buddies. Some people are looking to get help on an exam.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the only way that I kind of knew what was going on is because I was seeing these posts from the class of 2026 because when you join yours, you get access to the other ones too.
Yeah.
And so I was there as a senior scrolling through like, they did what with this?
Yeah. I joined that I think my first week, but I left it because
oh really?
I left it during football season because all they were doing was selling tickets.
Because people were just selling tickets.
So over it, but yeah, definitely. And especially like for me, since I guess probably you too. Well, my parents, like my mom never went to college, and my dad, I think he went to trade school or like a 2-year college. So, but like that's like not the traditional college experience, like a university experience. Like, and my sister went to a 4-year college. But they're all obviously a lot older than me. So like how college was back then versus how it is now is different. So I think all I had to shape my expectations were films and social media. So I think like having those expectations from those really, I don't know. It's just like, it's so different than what they perceive.
It is. And well, like we talk about parents, obviously my parents both went to college. It was a lot different when they went to college. My mom came here and she when she came and moved me in, she was like, this is new, this is new, this is new. Yeah. So her expectation was completely different.
Yeah.
And my dad, he went to community college to play basketball and then went to Shadron to finish his degree, ended up not. I don't know why. I think he was like a semester away and decided to be done. It's like, come on, Dad. But then, anyway, he he lived off campus for his last semester and stuff like that. So his expectation for me was really just like, okay, go experiment because I don't know how any of this stuff works, you know?
It's kind of how my parents were too. They like, it was a huge, I mean, we'll talk about this, I guess, soon, but it was a very, very big learning curve for me, my parents, my siblings, everybody, because college is not the way it used to be.
And it's changed so much in the last 5 years since the pandemic, really.
Yeah, it has. It's vastly different, especially since like online classes are now a huge thing and like a big option. You can complete your whole degree online if you want.
They could be nice. Online classes are nice to fit in.
I love them.
They can fit in. Like I'm considering taking an online class this summer, which is different.
Do it.
But like you can do an online class during the semester too to try and like take the workload off.
That's what I did.
A lot of them are like history of rock, stuff like that. But it's still credit.
Mine's plant science.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
Kind of fun. Yeah.
That's interesting. I like that. So yeah, college expectations. Ours were shaped a lot by the movies because social media wasn't as big when we were growing up. And we were also influenced by our parents and also the people we knew.
Yeah.
A lot of people now, like I would say even the seniors below us in high school and everyone below them, they're going to be shaped a lot by what they see on social media. I don't know if that's going to help college enrollment, decrease college enrollment. Like, college is fun.
I don't know.
College is fun. I'll say this.
Can be.
But we mentioned this in the first episode that it really just is what you make of it. Because if you don't make yourself in a good experience, it's not going to be a good experience.
Yeah. I guess my advice also would be like, don't let other people's horror stories deter you from trying to make the most of it.
Yeah.
You see a lot on social media, especially about like scary things that happen.
Well,
and that's a slim chance that's going to happen to you.
It's a reality, but it's not a huge reality.
Yeah.
And I'll say this just because we live in a building next to the fire station, the police station. We hear sirens every night.
All night.
And typically they're going somewhere on campus.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee the police are at one resident hall. We won't name names, but people who went to UNL, they know.
No. Yeah.
There's always something going on over there. So that will send us to our film of the week. So McKenna, you go first.
You know, since we were mentioning films earlier, Harmon, I recommend that you watch Pitch Perfect since you haven't seen it. It's amazing, and you're a theater kid. You would love it. It's like show choir on steroids.
On steroids.
That's how I describe it.
Okay.
But don't let your children watch it. There is foul language.
Is it PG-13?
And sexual themes. Sorry, Mom. It's definitely PG-13.
Okay. My film of the week, it's a film. It's another film. I'm 3 for 3 on films. Is Legally Blonde. I mentioned it. I always hated it when my sister would watch it. But then one day I was lifeguarding at the pool and it was rainy. And we didn't want to go home because we wanted to stay clocked in. And so we got permission. I'm saying this right now. We got permission to actually stay during the rain. And we watched Legally Blonde on the manager's laptop.
And it's good.
In the pool room.
It's good, isn't it?
It was fine.
No, admit it. It was good.
I did like when she found out that the guy was gay because of the shoes.
Oh, that was funny.
That was smart.
That was very smart. I think it's a girl boss movie.
It kind of is, yeah.
I love Legally Blonde. I've always loved Legally Blonde. It's why I wanted to become a lawyer. Thanks, Elwoods. She made it look easy. It's not.
Well, that about wraps up episode number 3. I don't have a visual anymore because it crapped out on me. But in the next episode number 4, we will have a couple more special guests.
We're not going to tell you who they are yet.
No, we won't.
We'll find out next week.
But there will be 2 special guests, and it should be a pretty good episode. We're really excited to have them on. But for this college expectation episode number 3, I think we're about wrapped up. McKenna Bliss is across the way. I'm Harmon Johnson. This has been episode number 3 of Keeping It Classy College Edition. We'll talk to you next week.